Bienvenidos, bienvenidas, mis amigos, mis amigas, mis materos, mis materas. Welcome back to Mateina, your show that is all about Yerba mate. I'm your host, Thomas, and today we're looking at some interesting topics again. A jam-packed episode with relaxation drinks. They're booming, promising calm, focus, and stress relief. But are they really the healthiest choice? Do they keep their promise? In this episode, we'll break it down for you. Most of them are chilled beverages. I'm sure you've heard some of the brand names. And we'll compare them with the ancient natural power of Yerba mate, my favorite choice. And then we move on to CBSE. CBSE is known for its fusion mate, its legendary flavors, and recently a new flavor has been going around on the internet. Yep, we are exploring that flavor in particular. We also look a little bit at the tradition and the wellness benefits. And then we'll see if Yerba mate is a smarter, cleaner, and more versatile drink, or if those relaxation drinks are better for your health. We'll see. Stay tuned. This and a lot more will come up in a second. So without any further ado, again, thanks for tuning in, and we'll start relaxation drinks versus Yerba mate. The battle is on. Today, we have brands that I'm not going to name, but you probably have heard them. They sound everything from a Japanese classic to some French sounding names, and they are leading the market, which is growing over 8% a year and is expected to hit more than 21 billion globally by 2030. The drinks are called relaxation drinks, the new chill out, if you will. Beverages that are designed not to hype you up, but to calm you down. Can you even compare it with Yerba mate? Yes, you can. But first things first. Think about sparkling waters, functional drinks that are infused with adaptogens, nootropics, chamomile, L-theanine, that sounds familiar, right? And magnesium, all ingredients meant to reduce stress, improve focus, or even help you sleep better. Some of those ingredients you'll also find in Yerba mate. But here's the thing. While these drinks sound great, they often come with added sugar. And that is a killer. Because in most of the drinks, you have added sugar. Look at energy drinks. Look at all those Yerba mate or those mate drinks that you find in grocery stores. All added sugar. Or even worse, processed ingredients. And their calming effects can be a hit or a miss, depending on your body's chemistry. But let's break it down. There is one brand, for example, made a name for itself with hemp-infused sparkling water that shifted to drinks with magnesium and adaptogens. The pitch? Calm fuels creativity. Another one is based in California, is pushing adaptogens and nootropics like lion's mane, ashwagandha, and passion flower. They market it as a social alternative to alcohol. Yep, you heard it right. A social alternative to alcohol. Something to sip while unwinding with friends. Then there is another one that sounds a little bit French, mixed with THC and CBD, alongside alcohol-free botanicals. Their products aim to deliver focus, relaxation, or sleep support. And then another one, a powerhouse in this space. And now listen to this, with 100 million in revenue, offering drinks, gummies, powders, all designed to bring calm into your everyday life. Sounds promising, no? I think I need a sip of mate after I've heard all of these things. And today, I'm not sipping on CBSA. I made myself a tereré because summer is coming slowly. But surely. And that means the tereré option becomes available. There's lots of perfect tererés, and a lot of them come from... Yeah, where do they come from? If you know, drop a comment below. Let us know. I'm very curious if you know where Barreto comes from, because that's the country that is well known for making the best yerba for tereré. And if you're missing tereré in your selection, go to somosmatina.com. That's our store. We ship worldwide. I believe we have really, really good and competitive prices. Get yourself the yerba you need. Tereré CBSA, for example, is a wonderful tereré yerba. Cajamay. There is naranja with orange flavor. There is yerbas with herbs flavors. Whatever your heart desires, you will find it. somosmatina.com. And now let's move on, because all of these drinks that are not yerba mate have one thing in common. They promise relaxation. But here's the comparison that really matters for health-conscious listeners, and I would say most of you are. Yerba mate does something very similar, but naturally. Yes, yerba mate, the traditional South American, let's call it tea, is packed with natural caffeine, theobromine, and antioxidants. Brands like Guayaki, Kräuterland Mate, yeah, sorry for my German, Kräuterland Mate, and Staragui, they give you a clean boost, improve focus, and subtle mood lifting. But without added sugars, artificial flavors, or processed ingredients. Yes, no added sugar, artificial flavors, or processed ingredients. And unlike many relaxation drinks, yerba mate is a whole plant beverage. It's healthy. It energizes like caffeine but doesn't spike your blood sugar. And it promotes calm focus thanks to its theobromine content, which gives you a smooth balance lift. Almost like the float that some of those other brands talk about just naturally. So next time you want to relax or find your flow, you might consider swapping that sparkling adaptogene drink for a cup of mate from Guayaki, Cruz de Malta, Taragui, or any other brand. Your body, mind, and taste buds will thank you. What did we learn? To summarize it, those drinks promise a lot. Some might even keep their promise. However, they are filled with added sugars, and we don't want that. We want the natural remedy. We want only natural things, and that is yerba mate by far. And yerba mate, yeah, has something to do with the US Trade Association because it's promoting it. And today we're talking about this big step, which it is for yerba mate in the United States. And why this ancient drink be one of the healthiest beverage choices you make. And while this ancient drink might be one of the most healthiest beverage choices. And as you can see, this episode is a lot about health consciousness. So if that applies to you, stay tuned. But don't forget to follow us. Subscribe our podcast. We're on Apple Podcasts. We're on Spotify. You can listen to us on YouTube or wherever you listen to your podcasts, and follow us on TikTok or Instagram at Somos Mateina. Because without you, this community is nothing. So thanks again for following us, subscribing, and listening to our podcast. And if you ever want to be on the show with me, if you have anything to say about Yerba Mate, if you have a funny story, if you have a medical background and you want to talk about Yerba Mate, anything related to Yerba Mate, feel free to reach out. Send me a DM on Instagram and you'll be the next guest on this show. But back to the US Trade Association promoting Yerba Mate, because recently a new organization called the American Yerba Mate Association, or AYMA, was launched to actively promote Yerba Mate across the US market. AYMA. It's not just a club for enthusiasts, it's really a trade association focused on educating consumers, supporting scientific research, and advocating for authentic, high-quality Yerba Mate products. So why and what is driving this push? Well, Yerba Mate exports were already strong in the early 2020s, and growing global demand has encouraged producers to expand into new markets like the US, or shall I say, push it more. According to AYMA's president, Yerba Mate is a plant-based energy drink that packs as much caffeine as coffee, but also comes with even more health benefits than green tea, because they are non-GMO, chemical-free, and traceable to their origin. So consumers know exactly what they are drinking. And that focus on origin and sustainability matters, because authentic Yerba Mate isn't something that's easy to grow just anywhere. It thrives in the humid rainforests of South America, with plants taking up to 18 months to mature. Some even 5 years, and then the aging process. You have to let it sit for 12, some even 24 months until it's ready to be shipped to you. And for that tradition, mate drinkers take the time and care, and it's worth it, because the benefits of these compounds found in those leaves are second to none. So let's take a deeper look. Let's dive into what makes that mate rise so interesting, because unlike many trendy drinks on the market, whether sugary relaxation beverages, as we've already discovered and talked about, or highly processed energy shots, authentically prepared Yerba Mate from brands like Plachadito, Rosamonte, Cruz de Malta, Taragüí, CBSA, or organic one that is even kosher, Kraus. They deliver natural caffeine, antioxidants, vitamins, and minerals with zero added sugar. Yerba Mate also has a smooth, sustained energy release, similar to coffee, but as you know, mate reports less jitters and crashes than coffee, thanks to its theobromine and other compounds. And because AYMA supports scientific research into mate, it considers Yerba Mate a superfood. Beautiful to hear, right? Because more people are learning that it's not just a stimulating drink, but one with potential health benefits tied to mental focus, immunity, and overall wellness. In short, while the rest of other beverages chase trends, Yerba Mate has both history and substance on its side. And this new trade association is helping bring mate and the message of mate to a wider audience. So next time you're choosing what you drink, consider something with real nutritional depth, less sugar, and transparent sourcing, like Yerba Mate, instead of grabbing the latest, probably overhyped processed beverage trend. Yeah. Beverage trend. And I thought we're going to talk about something that relates to trends and goes a little bit away from what we've up until now talked. Because now we talked a lot about health. We talked about health-conscious topics. And so we talked about theobromine, theophylline, L-theanine. We talked a lot about the compounds that you find in mate compared to relaxation drinks. And now I would like to focus on something that is a little bit trendy these days. Because I also want to not just talk about like how the Guarani people discovered yerba mate, but I also want to talk about yerba mate these days. And CBSA is going viral in the yerba mate world, especially on Instagram and social media, because there is one flavored mate that CBSA released, and that's Dubai chocolate. Chocolate and pistachio trend. Yep. Argentina's well-known yerba mate producer CBSA has released a limited edition blend called Chocolate Dubai. And that combines traditional mate with the viral chocolate and pistachio trend. The launch was timed with World Pistachio Day and reflects how global food crazes are increasingly influencing even the most traditional steep beverages. So you don't have to stick to your traditional yerba. There is also a little bit outside of that spectrum that adjusts and adapts to trends, but does not forget its heritage. And CBSA is pretty good in that. And the Chocolate Dubai blends infuses yerba mate with the rich flavor of cocoa and pistachio, creating something that's meant to be brewed in your mate gourd, just like the classic drink. But it's a little bit sweeter and has a very interesting aromatic twist. Yes, and it's available in your well-sourced mate store. And this move is part of CBSA's broader strategy to appeal to a younger consumers who might see plain unflavored yerba mate as old school. A way of blending heritage with modern global tastes. It follows earlier innovations from the brand, including guarana, citrus, honey, and herbal variants. Orange, lemon, you find everything in their portfolio. But let's pause here and reflect on that for a moment. Because flavored mate like Chocolate Dubai can certainly be intriguing. And it's generating buzz on social platforms like TikTok, Instagram, and so on. But traditional yerba mate still offers something that no flavored blend can replicate. Classic yerba mate brands like Rosamonte, Cruz de Malta, Placerito, Amanda, and so on, they give you the pure plant-based experience that has been cherished for centuries. Yerba mate naturally contains caffeine and beneficial plant compounds that deliver smooth mental energy and focus without the sharp spikes that come from highly processed drinks, and without added sugar and artificial flavoring. Where a trend-inspired flavor might be fun to try once or twice, the traditional brew connects you with a deep cultural ritual in a ronda with friends, and a beverage that's been celebrated for its subtle complexity and natural profile for generations. It's the difference between gimmicky novelty and time-tested nourishment. The new Chocolate Dubai blend might spark conversation, but the heritage mate leaf still holds the crown for those seeking a healthy, delicious, and authentic drink. So if you're curious about CBSA's limited edition or want to experiment with the flavor, sure, get it. Go ahead, try it. Why not? But remember that the classic leafy brew from reputable brands remain one of the best ways to enjoy all the benefits that yerba mate naturally has. And with that, we're through with the mate news for today. Because we want you to be grounded in tradition even as trends evolve. And that's why we're moving on to our last topic, the Yerba of the Week review. And today's Yerba of the Week is a Yerba that blends that bridge between tradition and freshness. Buenas y Santas Yerbas Reales. It's an Argentine yerba mate with a twist. Not just straight mate leaves, but a carefully crafted mix of real herbs that makes each gourd feel like a walk through a garden. And Buenas y Santas comes from Argentina, where mate is more than a drink. It's a ritual. You know how it works. And that blend pairs yerba mate with mint, cedrón, that's a lemon verbena, burrito, and incayuyo. All real herbs are harvested from around the country without any artificial flavors or additives. And that's very important. The result is a yerba that's 100% natural and distinctively different from the straight mate. It's herbier, even herbier than most other brands that have yerbas infused, lighter, and a little more playful on the palate. So when you open a pack, the aroma is immediately inviting. A fresh meadow-like scent with citrusy lemon verbena and cool mint rise to the top. It's not just smell, it's a preview of what you're about to taste. In the cup, the flavor profile leans soft and refreshing. The traditional earthy bitterness of mate is there, but it's dialed down, more of a gentle nod than a punch. The herbs introduce citrus and minty notes that lift the infusion and make it feel lighter on the tongue, almost regular tea-like. If you're used to strong, robust mates, this will feel pleasantly mild. If you're a newcomer, it's an incredibly accessible way to ease into the world of mate. Better yet, this yerba isn't picky about how you serve it. It plays nicely as a hot mate, warming and soothing, and now that the summer is coming, it also shines as a beautiful cold tereré, because that cold water brings forward the herbal brightness even more. So who is Buenas y Santas best for? I'd say it's a great choice for people who want a softer, more herb-driven mate experience. Beginners will definitely appreciate its gentler bitterness. Seasoned drinkers will enjoy the layered herbal notes, and anyone who likes to play with both hot and cold mate will find it versatile. It's also a wonderful bridge yerba for those transitioning from herbal teas into mate culture. And in a world of bold, bitter mates, Buenas y Santas Yerbas Reales remind us that mate can be refreshing, aromatic, and balanced. It's like taking a familiar classic and giving it a light, lively remix without losing the soul of the original. Buenas y Santas Yerbas Reales. What a yerba. What a yerba. If you have not tried it yet, try it. It's beautiful. Try it as a tereré first, maybe, and then as a warm one. Or try it as a warm one first and then as a tereré. But try it both ways, because I would assume that you like at least one of those two. And with that, my dear friends, we have come to the end of today's episode, Yerba Mate and the Future of Wellness. So what do you think of our topics that we talked about? Relaxation drinks versus yerba mate. Sugary drinks that promise a calm, reduced stress, mental well-being. Does that work together? Doesn't sugar cause the exact opposite? New US Trade Association promoting yerba mate. What a beautiful thing. American Yerba Mate Association, or AYMA. was recently launched to actively promote yerba mate across the US market. And then CBSE, viral trend yerba mate, Chocolate Dubai. Yes, chocolate and pistachio trend is sweeping social media. But has any one of you tried it? Question mark. Leave a comment below and let me know. And we'll see what happens. Or drop us a comment on Instagram. And let's see what happens. CBC, Dubai chocolate. And then we talked about Buenas y Santas Hierbas Reales, a wonderful yerba from Argentina that is perfect for cold mates tereré as well as the hot ones, and is a more herb-driven yerba. My friends, materos y materas, I need a sip before I say goodbye. Beautiful. Yes, my friends, we have come to the end of this episode. We covered a lot of topics. Let me know what you think. If you have any questions, reach out. DM me on Instagram, Somos Mateina. Shoot us a message. On TikTok, we are also on YouTube. And visit our store, somosmateina.com. We ship worldwide. We have plenty of yerbas ready to be shipped. Everything in-house, everything is here. We'll ship it within 24 hours to the destination of your choice. And we also offer free shipping options. Let's continue the growth of this community. Stay tuned for another episode next week, Wednesday. Enjoy your Wednesday and the rest of the week. I am your host, Thomas. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget, el café es para mortales, el mate para leyendas.